Are you ready to create a life you crave? Let's spin that doom loop of negativity into an upward success cycle and start living lucky. Good morning. I'm Jana.
I'm Jason.
And we are living lucky.
You are too.
Potential.
Oh, potential. There's that word.
Boom, boom, boom.
Potential is what's out in front.
I always perceived that potential was a good thing. When you would say, oh, you know what? I see potential in you, kid.
Oh, I've got such potential.
I've got such potential.
I'm not good enough like I am.
Oh, that's an inner thought, though. That's a limiting belief.
It is.
However, I realized today that people sometimes perceive it like that, including myself.
Sometimes that is what we hear behind the curtain.
Including myself.
Yes.
Sometimes I hear it like that.
We don't listen to it because we see the benefit of potential. And it's beautiful. It gives us something to move towards.
Because I often have felt, like when people say, oh my gosh, Jana, if only you saw in yourself what I see in you. Like so many people say that to me. And then I think, I have an awesome life. Like
I do see it, but you don't see it all. Like I see so much, like I see how amazing and powerful and wonderful you are.
Wait, but aren't I being that right now?
You are, but there's
You're saying but.
And there's so much more because there's a lot that you don't claim. Like I think and this is what people do, and this is how people do it. I would be wearing that gold medal all the time. And this is the thing. I don't have the gold medal. So I can say that.
Yeah.
So if I had gone and done all the work and been in the Paralympics for 12 years, gotten a bronze medal, gone in Atlanta, gone to Australia, come in 4th or 5th, then gone to Greece and got a gold medal and came home and I was just like 10 feet tall and bulletproof.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I'm walking around all the state of Florida wearing this gold medal on my chest, just showing it off, walking into every business going, you darn right, I'm Team USA gold medalist. And that's not the case. Like Olympic athletes just don't do that because I'm not an Olympic athlete. I don't know about all that.
I'm not sure that's what we're talking about here, though. That's more. That's a case of humility,
right? Well, it's also in pride and all these things. But I think that's what people see, like say when they say, "I see all this greatness in you," and when we see that, we can also see the potential in what somebody goes forward.
So Jason and I were watching this really thought-provoking movie.
That's a good way to put it.
That's the best way to describe this movie. And one of the quotes in there, they were talking about potential. And the main character says, I see so much potential in my people. That's what he said. And the person across the table says, that's just another way of saying what's in front of you isn't good enough. Mm. And that whole exchange.
That was a pause in the movie moment.
It was. I said, stop the movie. We've got to analyze this because watching it happen.
Stop the projector.
Sometimes we just need that. Like sometimes I wish my movie, I could watch it play out and pause it and say, oh my gosh, yeah. I want to zoom out and analyze because.
And be objective about it.
Yes. And be objective.
Instead of being the subject of it.
When I saw that whole exchange happen, it just made sense because sometimes when, I've been in conversations with people when they're feeling down and out and they're kind of in a woe is me moment. And I feel like I'm doing them a favor by saying, I believe in you. You can do this. And, my intention is to fill them with
confidence, reassurance, belief,
motivation, inspiration.
Like, see in you what I see in you.
And then when you see it from the other side, you think, oh my gosh, maybe if they're really that down and out, what they're really hearing is, I'm not good enough the way I am.
And I'm working so hard just to be here.
I am barely surviving. I am barely keeping my head above water. And you're saying you see all this potential in me. What you're not seeing is
everything it takes to get to the starting line.
Yes.
Yeah.
And what's so crazy is in that moment, I really reflected myself in both characters.
Yeah.
I saw myself in both characters. I'm like, I've been that person and I've been that person.
To myself and to other people.
Right. I am both of these characters all at once sometimes.
And I think that's where it comes in to say, you know what? We just need to understand that everyone has their own story. Everyone has their own reality. And we can all just pay attention to the words that we're using, recognize that, yeah, we do have capacity to take advantage of or take agency of our life.
Ooh, that's better. Yes.
And like we now recognize that we get to create our own reality. And that comes down to...
It's taken us a while to get here.
It has. And
I will say we still catch ourselves every now and then saying things where we have to keep each other, where we choose to keep each other accountable. And we say, wait, we need to watch our words.
Because we're going to fall back in. I mean, we spent 40 years learning the other ways. And it's been the last 10 years where we're kind of learning this new vernacular, learning a new way, learning how things can be.
And how to filter.
How we've been told things are. Because really life is full of possibilities and opportunities and this abundance of just everything is available and possible.
When I was watching that scene, I
full of potential.
thought of myself, and that's where I'm going with this, is I actually thought of myself, and next time I go to use the word potential, I am going to change it to possibilities, because I do believe that possibilities is a little more of freedom of choice.
Yeah.
Whereas potential puts a little pressure. Maybe the word potential has a little more of a weighty, it can feel a little like I'm not living up to my potential.
Yeah, well,
I'm not doing my part.
Well, if you look at it, I mean, I don't want to be the devil's advocate because we do lift each other up, but there's potential for a downside, right?
Oh God. I don't even know what conversation am I in right now.
Right. So, but the thing is, but it is the possibility. It's what do you want to choose? Do you want to choose and are we choosing what lifts us up or are we choosing what brings us down? And that's where a lot of times, like I find myself like not receiving all the benefits of the things that lift me up.
You know, one tool that we learned in our hypnosis training is to put ourselves in other people's shoes. So when we are having conversations, to really try to put ourselves in the perspective or in the shoes of the person we're speaking with, or the person that we're speaking, that we're hearing from, or the person that we're speaking to. And that way we can kind of understand, where are they coming from? Where are they?
Yeah. How can I understand them better? How can I?
Yes. And how have they formulated their viewpoint of the world?
Yeah. And when I can start building that understanding of that viewpoint, and I can start maybe understanding that vision, then when I understand that, then I can start crafting my questions and crafting the things that I'm hoping to articulate in a more fluid and conversational, communicative way. Build that bridge.
Yes, because I can see now where in so many ways saying, I see so much potential in you and your career, or in you and your relationship, and you and your whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
It can really feel like, it doesn't matter what I do, it's never going to be good enough.
Yeah. Think when you just mentioned that about how many times people say, I see so much potential in your relationship. If you think about that and you dissect that, how many people actually know what's really happening in someone else's relationship? I mean, it's typically your neighbors or people's neighbors are the biggest surprised people when someone gets divorced.
Yeah, that's true.
Family members are surprised when someone gets divorced. But people often say, I see so much potential in your relationship, like those weird things, right? But they have no idea. But when you talk about the whole thing about if you can understand their viewpoint, like what their perspective of the world is, and that's really getting them to uncover and be authentic and vulnerable, like really
And real.
be real with you. Then we can start crafting that new vernacular, the new way of doing things, the way of being, so that there are possibilities in there.
Yes.
So that there can be a new life or new whatever they want.
Or there doesn't have to be.
It can be whatever they want it to be, but they get to start creating the reality that they want.
They get to choose.
Yes.
They get to choose. And I think that's really part of it, is just realizing that if they do feel there are limitations, that is just an illusion.
Oh, that's so big.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Are we there?
Yes.
Okay.
The illusion.
The possibilities.
The possibilities. Get rid of the illusion. Keep living lucky.
Get rid of the potential. Dump that word. Not that I'm telling you what to do. All right. Thanks for joining us.
Keep living lucky.
Bye-bye. If the idea of living lucky appeals to you, visit us at startlivinglucky.com.